And Factory Frenzy will play some O. So the cuts out of the stack are a little bit slow to develop. Ringland now in space. She will not catch that one. A little bit too much spice from Kate Munro. Ooh, another wayward throw on that forehand side. For Munro to pick it up for Factory. Carrying a lot of the handling duties early. It's past the outside stretched hand of Chittenden. And now Emma Ferguson works to the disc for Underground. The cut comes under, out into space, a brilliant catch up high. A vertical stack for Underground. Now they're on their way, completing passes. A long throw down the sideline. That's very nice. It's like Chloe Rogers catching that one for Underground. They level it up, they break back to Underground. Great signs early. So I spoke a little bit about Factory Frenzy and what they are and what their story is. Continuing on that, the pathway for these athletes is well established. Those that begin playing Ultimate and want to represent, they'll join the Factory Club, and they may get picked straight away to go into the Factory first team, but if they don't, well, they go into the development factory, so to speak, into this Frenzy squad, and they'll play here for maybe a little while. Develop their skills, gain experience, understand the club and the culture and the structures that Factory like to use. Asha Sharma. What a great servant she's been for years. Wearing the Australian shorts. Always a dead giveaway. I'll come back to that. Nice cut out of the stack to get Factory moving, and there's a block. Jumping in front is Grace Downey. Plays it very well. And Kat French to Sprout. Back to French. Oh, who drops it. Just the disc getting away from her a little bit there. So the reset to Sharma. Sharma throws outside in, and indeed again, Grace Downey showing that she is a block getter. French tries to get it to Spratt, but it's covered well. Nice cut up the line. And there we go, into the end zone to Spratt. That is a goal. Underground score their third. Well, that's 3 in a row now for Underground. You have to think that maybe Factory Frenzy should be thinking about a timeout now. See the throw. It is outside in, and it's well placed. 2 defenders in the area, but the throw is on location. Excellent. So coming back to Australian representatives in the sport of Ultimate Frisbee, it's normally a dead giveaway. They will be wearing almost exclusively some sort of Australian swag, some sort of representative short or a hat, or often the track pants with the Australia up the leg. Sharma in this case going with the Australian shorts. So it's easy to pick them out. why wouldn't you celebrate your achievements? Like an Australian team is not an easy feat. Only the best that try out go, so you have to beat some people to make it. What a great fight back this has been from underground. Both these teams somewhat familiar with each other, both from Canberra. So they're going to know each other. In the pre-game factory frenzy leadership were talking together, and one thing they brought up was identification of matchups, ensuring that they've got the right personnel. This one out of bounds on the full. Munro is going to bring it to the middle as Imogen Rayner goes screaming down on the defense. I think she was expecting Munro to bring it in on the sideline. Ringland works in space on the near side. Nice throw. And then Munro continuing to move the offense, goes outside in. Sarah Gillett unable to get there and catch that long throw from Munro. So underground will go out of a vertical. The cut from Rogers. Zvaka can't get it. It goes back to Amit in the middle. And that's a loose one. Imogen Rayner involved. Now through hands, they go with Munro. And it looks like there is a marking infraction as Munro and Rayner are going to discuss this. Probably some confusion around the stall. Well, as the disc is tapped in, we'll go straight back. As there is a pick in the stack. So it just comes in again. Now Monroe trying to find something. He's going to reach down the field to Tansen, doesn't get her, finds Gillett instead, and then it's Tansen who cuts the move for Factory's third goal. It stems the momentum, it stems the bleeding. 3-3. It's a good effort by Tansen there, just to keep running. She made the deep cut. The throw didn't quite get to her. It fell in Gillett's hands instead, but some good hard running by Ebony Tansen. So the pull to come from Sandstrom. That's the list. Sandstrom hasn't landed this one in bounds by the looks. Underground will now take over on offense, coming with a vertical stack. Factory Frenzy and a match defense. Sharkey breaks. It gets broken up though by Carrie Flynn, and Flynn is going to go with a great backhand towards Sandstrom. Gets caught underneath the disc a little bit, tailing over their head. Now a good looking flick, it's down the line. Just a little bit wayward, a little bit misdirected. Looks like it went out of bounds. Never gave the receiver, Ruby Rounds, a chance to catch it. So Flynn looks straight away at Sandstrom, and Sandstrom makes a pretty good move, creates some separation. A flick will just pop up in the air. The conditions are somewhat different as French to Rounds, and Rounds has conked that one. Flynn to Sandstrom. Sandstrom with an absolute bomb into the end zone. A nice catch for the score, Heather Cross. Well, it's 2 in a row now for Frenzy. A game of runs so far. See Sandstrom and Flynn leaving the field, having a conversation. A lot of arm movements and a lot of nods from both of them. Clearly, neither of them particularly happy and trying to get on the same page. And I think they may have just hit on something there. So that reset to Sandstrom in power position. And then Sandstrom just uncorks a beauty. Fine vintage throw, that one. I dare say there's a sommelier somewhere commenting on the excellent bouquet of that one. Well, a shout out to everyone watching and joining in from at home. I hope that you're enjoying our coverage. 4-3, this is a tight match. Ringland goes outside in. He's going to rotate over, and it looks like it may have gone out of bounds. Question mark, heavily implied on that one. It's being on the near side of the field. We don't have drone footage or anything like that yet. And well, this is an interesting choice going out of the horizontal. Is underground. So the receivers are going to have a lot of work to do. A nice catch there. Ferguson in the middle of the field. And then Loiterden is going to go towards Rogers. A long throw that's deep by Rogers. To Rogers. A nice throw there to Rayner. Connecting Howard. Rayner will get it back. A little bit skinny. The throw to the middle is going to be caught. It looks like there might be a pick. I think I heard pick through the field, Mike. Rayner towards Rogers. It's high. She deals with it well. And that's a goal now for Underground. 4-all the score. That throw not exactly perfect. You'd want that one out in space so the receiver can run onto it. It popped up a little bit in the air, so Rogers had a bit of work to do. She did it well. So a fascinating game so far. Fascinating. 4-all. Tight game. So, Spratt to pull. It's in the air, it floats nicely. And Sandstrom to pick it up. A nice break by Sandstrom. It's through the hands, though, of Emily Chan. There's Spratt with flow through Sharky. Can't get it to Downey, who's been good early. Out to French, who's also been good. And there's Emily Chan getting involved, getting herself a block, and she's off to the races. Sharma, not quite on the disc, so wasn't able to send it to her. Sandstrom out into space. Chan, who continued her cut. Zhong looking for Sandstrom. Sandstrom, nice catch. And then a big backhand. It's got a high angle on it. It's going to go left. Sandstrom. You see when she gets in space, she's willing and able to drop some bombs on the end zone. I'm just not quite having the angle. So French to Downey. And then it's Spratt. She'll have to do a lot there. It's too far out in front. Factory Frenzy now with another opportunity. Sandstrom has a long, good look down the field. Good flick. Oh, what a nice grab by Asha Sharma. Sharma is going to flub it. Just slipping out of the hands. Disc clearly wet after that layout. So French to bring it in. Engages Downey. Goes high. Downey runs onto it nicely. They're starting to put it together. Rounds. Spratt. French tries to get it up the line. It's covered well. Nice inside break. Eaton. Now it's Downey up the line. Catches the trailing edge and then throws a flick towards the end zone. This point has been hard fought. Nearly 30 minutes gone in this game. 4-all the score. As is always the case in these Division 2 matches, both teams will have opportunities. Sandstrom is going to try and reset it. Just throws it in the ground at the feet of Sharma. The defensive pressure of Underground telling maybe a little bit now. And instead of French going to the disc, as has been the normal way, it's Downey. Eaton gets free, finds a way in between two. Barber with a bid. Sandstrom rather. And that is the 5th goal of the match. Underground now back in front. great way to start the morning. Tight match. Not a great deal at stake at the moment. It is early in the game. Score is, of course, 5-4 to Underground. We'll get the scoreboard corrected shortly. Here we go. The ball. Miriam Downey now. This is a long way down. We'll talk about Miriam Downey in a shortly and about the origins of this Underground club. They come down in the match defense. Munro. Warnock gets up the line, creating space for that around throw into space. Frenzy now are off to the races. A deep receiver's there. She'll have to do a lot. She does well to stay inbounds. Does Chittenden. The 3-inch travel call. Chittenden makes up her ground and continues to play on. And a nice block there, Rayner. Now it's all hard work. Amit under heavy pressure from Ringland. Rayner. Lloyd-Hedden. There's a big call, so Amit will most likely return the disc. Just taking a moment to acknowledge who the pick was on. See if it didn't affect the play and Amit's catch, then it would stay with her. However, it was Ringland who called the pick. Well, that's a tight window to go into, but Miriam Downey catches well. Now Underground have to do something. Another tight window. It's outside in. It's hung out in there like it's in the breeze. It's come back in. Centimetre perfect by Miriam Downey. It hung out there for an age. Like a sailing boat on full lean. Before it tailed back in at the last moment. See, there's not much angle. Yeah, there's a little bit of separation, but they're not really working with much room, and that is, well, maybe she had another half a metre that she could have run into, but not much more. So we'll see the first timeout of the game. Both teams are going to bring it in, talk it over. The Factory Frenzy leadership currently huddled up. Just discussing a few things, trying to figure out what adjustments they're going to make here. Underground, more of a clump or a huddle. So we'll talk a little bit about the origins of this Underground team. So we need to Okay, We're back out of the timeout. Underground up 6-4 in this match, this Division 2 women's match. As we begun to say earlier, there's not too much on the line today for either team, this being the New South Wales Championships. These Division 2 teams they're not competing for any kind of title. They're more here to get that experience, get that growth, get that development. Both these teams very heavily focused on both of those. The origin of Underground coming from the desire to develop more women's players in Canberra. Underground being in their second year. And Spratt to pull. And it's Sandstrom to pick it up. And now Flynn with that great. Oh, what a massive block by Ayden. She climbed into the Raymond Terrace sky and swatted that. That's one for the highlight reel right there. It looked good out of the hand from Flynn. Saw a really nice backhand from Finn earlier, and I think Eaton maybe was paying attention, as realised what she was bringing and played some excellent defence. Spratt can't get it to Ruby Rounds. Oh, the defence is so tight. Flat throw. Bailey to Spratt. Spratt looking covered well. Layout block Fry Flynn. And Flynn's going to go straight away across the field. Schubert under heavy pressure. Spratt can't get there. Well, that had everything. First a flying D from Eaton and a flying D from Flynn. Outstanding. Factory Frenzy now close the gap by 1. Come back to the Eaton block. Well timed. Throw by Corinna Schubert. That was close. So it looks like for England now to pull. Get it to roughly in line with the brick mark. To Miriam Downey. To Rogers. Rayner. Oh, the disc takes a heavy deflection on the point block. Rogers catches it anyway. Rogers trying to get it to... That's Loiterden. Back to Rogers. Keeps it in well. Another cut to Ferguson. Ferguson. Fakes the backhand. Rayner just outside. There's a lot there. Rogers is going to be the one who scores. Plays it on the ground and moves on. 7-5 now the score. Factory Frenzy unable to close the gap. Time cap rules much the same as they were yesterday, last day. Heavy pressure there. Great concentration by Ferguson to catch it. No, the defender, Katrin, was like on her hip. There's a lot of great names in Australian Ultimate, but I think we've got one for the books. Ruby Rounds. That was an excellent Ultimate Frisbee name. Playing for Underground. One of their new talents, their up-and-coming stars, perhaps. So, Downey. Downey's still going to be the one to pull. She has the disc in hand at the moment. Some instructions for the line, just figuring out who's going where. Rather, that's French now. French with a disc, and it's Downey standing immediately to her right. Our left, where we're looking at it from. So French with an outside in backhand. So Flynn. Nice cut to Schubert. Flynn. Flynn in space. Had the opportunity to throw the backhand. Decides to look for a better option. He's going to break the mark. Flynn expecting the receiver to go one way. She goes the complete opposite, and French goes quick. Flynn is going to go out there and poach off and try and throw the goal for the second time. She gets it that time. A little bit of frustration there by Carrie Flynn. A little bit of a Thanos moment. Fine, I'll do it myself. See Flynn out of frame at the moment, poaching off from the back of the stack to go get that block. So, Frenzy will go on defense now. This could potentially be half-time if Underground score this next point. Been fairly clean the last couple of points. Fewer turnovers. A couple of those points in there were absolute grinders. Legs burning. Lungs feel like they're about to burst, and turn it over again. You gotta go play defense. You gotta get the turn, and then you gotta play offense. And then it's turned over, and then you gotta play defense. It can be a real test of mental fortitude. Ringland. The slide, just inside the brick mark. The imaginary line that defines the red zone, as we call it. Yeah, here's Zaka. It's Loiterden who has to go low on her knees, tries to catch, can't get it. Munro. To Ringland, out in front of her. So it was a momentary match call. It was a zone call. Now it's a hark to Rogers. It's so good by Ferguson. It's so very, very good. That's going to be half-time. Underground are up by 2 now. 8-6 the score. Ferguson with an outstanding flick. And forehand throw, that's a long way. That's some 35 metres to where the disc was caught. See, she picks it up. Rogers immediately knowing the kind of clubs Emma Ferguson has in her kit bag, says, I'll run, you huck it. Well, we're going to go to some replays. We're going to have a look at some of the action from the first half. We'll be back with the conclusion of this game here shortly. We look forward to seeing you there soon.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond. We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Well, welcome back to the second half of this Division 2 women's match. Underground of Canberra playing against Factory Frenzy. The Factory Ultimate Club also out of Canberra. before we get started with the second half, we probably need to talk about the weather, which has become ominous in literally the last 5 minutes. Over the course of halftime, it's gone from, you know, nearly overcast to grey clouds over Grahamstown Dam. So we might get a little bit moist down here. The fields here in Raymond Terrace. Raymond Terrace is roughly 1 hour north of Newcastle, nice part of the country. If you ever come on a holiday, wondering where should you go? Come to this part of the country. Come to Newcastle. Come to Nelson Bay. We think we've got a pretty good one. So this is why breaks are important. So Factory Frenzy will be pulling here, going on defense out of half. Ringland with the disc at the moment. Underground are going to have the first opportunity to play offense. The higher the level becomes, the greater that advantage to have first possession of the disc, as the offense is assumed to score in the higher divisions. Division 2, though, can be a little bit different. Oh, a floaty high throw that's dealt with. And Factory are going to go to this zone. Spratt through French, back to Spratt. Spratt with a high release. Ringland gets a piece of it, and then it's snatched out of the air by Dana Warnock. Ringland with a huge flick. It's a long way. It's way too far. Actually, that might be a little bit unfair. It wasn't that far away. There was not a too much between it. And yeah, Factory, we saw this zone for a brief moment last half and it worked. It did get a turn. Spratt trying to create some space now, some width, and Factory zone gets themselves a turn. Inside break by Munro to Ringland. Tansen drops the goal. Ebony Tansen, who scored earlier, doesn't catch that one. And another drop. This Factory Frenzy zone may be what they need to get back into this game. Warnock. The interesting high release flick push pass. Come chicken wing is incomplete. Underground now, they need to come up with a plan. The high release over the top. Munro can't get there, and Ruby Rounds at her shoelaces. So Frenzy are going to transition. Spratt is going to reach down the field with a forehand. Bailey, outside in. There's Eaton. Ayden with a big outside in. It's a goal. Well, Ayden is growing into this game at the moment. Score is 9-6. Ayden just spotting that receiver and going, okay, I'm good enough. I can throw that. And throw that she does. What a great catch there by Vanderkrant. Had a little bit of work to do. I think we'll probably talk a little bit about the origins of this underground club, talking to some of the underground players before the match started, finding out a little bit about where this club came from. It started a couple of years ago by Miriam Downey, who's actually just clearing the line now. Wanted a place with good vibes where women could come and develop. She felt that there was nothing that offered exactly what she was looking for in Canberra, so she started the Underground Ultimate Club. Flynn. So Underground now also going to go with some of their own zone. Sharma. Cross to Sandstrom, who uncorks a big one. He's going to put it in the air. The taller Löyten does enough. On the second grab. I think that's Katrin who is trying to catch the goal from Frenzy. Correction, Yan Zhong. Ferguson to Löyten. The reset. Izzy Howard goes down the line. Amit throws a speculator towards Rayner, who has the layout past Heather Cross, who had played pretty good defense on it. Turnover results. Sharma picks it up. Finds Sandstrom to Flynn. Flynn steps up in and through the cup. A nice move by Flynn through Sharma. Zhong, a drop. Several deep cuts and undercut. Trying to clean it up, trying to figure out what's happening. Flip over to Rogers, isn't successful. Flynn has 3 receivers, can't get it to him, can't get it past the wall of this Underground defensive structure, this zone that they're bringing. Nice pressure there. Zaka doing enough to force the throw from Flynn to be low. Never comes back up. Skims along the ground, and that's a turnover. Ferguson looking for Rogers. She breaks instead to Amit. Amit with a flick to Rayner. Löyten will have to do a lot. It's a wayward, wild one. So Flynn gets it in play, gets it to Sandstrom. Sharma. Sandstrom. Sharma. This Underground zone doing a pretty good job of containment. The block by Amit. Flynn tries to get in there to save it. She can't do it. Underground now, deep in the red zone, an opportunity potentially for their 10th. Ferguson going to go with a floopy outside in. Discussion on the field, just figuring something out. Flynn, Zaka playing a long way around. Flynn has to loop it all the way over to Sharma, who goes shorter to Okada. And then Sharma with a wayward one. Sandstrom heading in the opposite direction to what Sharma thought. Ferguson now with another opportunity. Rayner's open. What a receiver Rayner is. Strong cutter. Great separation through acceleration and hard work. Back to the origins of this Underground club. The origins of the name actually have a funny story. It's called Underground because it was a secret. And if you knew, you knew. And if you were in the know, you knew. And if you weren't in the know, you didn't need to know. And you were brought into the know by someone who knew. I got the impression of very Fight Club-esque. You got invited by text message. Very secretive. And then naturally the metro symbol from England forms the basis of their uniforms. An underground train. So, this game is coming to a close. Factory Frenzy have really just been held at bay, held at arm's length by this underground team, this talented underground team. Trin over towards Munro. Ringland. They're trying to get it around the edge of the zone. Munro has to do a lot. The zone. See it working. The zone is trying to create a situation where teams have to throw a lot of passes. That's a block. Sarah Gillett catching that one, and then Trin is going to go to Gillett. Gillett, who continued her cut, she's going to have to do a lot. She bids. Can't get there. Well, you can't doubt the effort. She threw everything, the kitchen sink, the small cat, the shoes, everything was thrown at that one. And still, not quite enough. Mother of three, I'm reliably told. One of the children, she threw it all. Spratt will just hold on to the disc for a moment. Looked like a pick for Munro. Spratt has had a good game. There's been a number of good performers on this underground team. And Spratt is going to go towards Eaton, who's a bit of a monster in the air. Stall is going to get high though. Spratt gets up the line. A nice reset. Sprout, she's wearing on the kit, reaches out there with a hand. Ringland, it hits someone in the face. It looks like it's clobbered Sharky on the way through. Just an awkward one. It was bobbling around in there. Gillett. Trin. Back to the middle. And Ringland. Munro. Munro with a big throw. She's going to have to do a lot as well. Johnston not able to get there. Well, if Factory lose this game, it wasn't for a lack of trying. That throw outside in. The wind is increasing. So it's Warnock. Munro. Munro piercing through to Gillett. Ringland. Ringland's throw is going to pop up. It's read well by Bailey. Through French to Spratt. Spratt with that distinctive forehand that is released from quite a ways up in the air. Eaton with the outside in towards Ruby Rounds. Rounds all alone, has a moment. It's just going to chill and finds Spratt. Some good play there by Rounds, realizing she had nothing in front of her. Downey back to Spratt. Spratt with that high release flick again. The defense comes. Johnston getting in there off that wing position in the zone. Munro. Munro towards Gillett. Awkward height to catch. Oh, the inside break by French, but it's D'd by Trin. Cat Trin knew what was going on. Gets to the throwing lane. Gets the block. Munro out to Warnock. Gillett. Ringland. Ringland with an outside in backhand. Gonna test Ruby round. She gets underneath it. Can't get there. Factory on the doorstep. Oh, a wayward throw that's gonna pop up in the wind. It's Ringland though. She skewers it. Looks for support. Finds Warnock. Out to Trin. Ringland's in the end zone. Spratt can't get there. That's Factory's 7th goal. At the moment, Factory Frenzy are behind, but they're going down swinging. And at the moment, I am happy with my decision to wear long pants today. It is actually a little bit colder than it was yesterday. It's quite muggy and balmy yesterday on the Saturday. Today, a little bit cooler, especially considering that big dark cloud that is currently hovering over the Grahamstown Dam, over that berm in the distance behind the field that you can see there. A forecast of 25. There's exceptionally high chance of rain for the rest of the day, peaking at 90% at 10 o'clock, which is approximately 20 minutes from now, local time. So I anticipate that very shortly we're going to see some moisture. Unlike cricket, we have no Les Burdett, no long rope, no Hessian to dry the service. The players will just have to make do as Sandstrom pulls. So a zone for Factory Frenzy out into space. Howard will have to go. She does. Gathering that pass that was headed towards Downey, but missed her slightly. Downey to the inside to Amit. Making a little bit of progress here underground. Ferguson. Downey on the near sideline. Fakes the scuba. Love it. Ferguson in close contact. Tangling a little bit. Downey gets them out. Howard through Amit. Downey underground doing well in this zone offense. They're finding some holes. There's Zaka. Back to Downey. Downey trying to move the cup around. A big throw across to Howard. And a block. Schubert jumps in front. And then Sandstrom is going to go for Schubert. Sandstrom's given that everything. Schubert. Humongous throw by Sandstrom that has gone out the back of the end zone. No, not quite. Close to it though, and Schubert, after the block, went for a gallop. Underground will have to go the length of the field again. Zaka, nice catch up high. Amit. There's Rayner. Downey, Ferguson. Ferguson with an outside in. He's going to test Flynn as the deep. Flynn has read it really well. Really, really well. Schubert. She looks cool, calm and collected as a player to Schubert. There's Sandstrom. And Sandstrom is not going to be able to get it to Okada. Yeah, that big rain cloud's coming. It's about to pour. Ferguson. Down he goes. Nice dump cut to get the reset, creating separation. There's Rogers. Rogers. Oh, big bid by Rayner. Zaka. Zvaka's going to get called out. Humongous by Rayner.
Oh, Schubert's gone again. Sandstrom's going to try it for another one this time. Schubert catches it. She's deep in the red zone. The throw to Conchado. It's no good. As the rain begins. Just going to retreat a little bit under our shelter here. Unlike the players, we can hide. Nice throw by Ferguson, piercing the zone to Zucker. And then Amit catches high over Sandstrom. Ferguson. Howard. Ferguson with a big outside in. And it's gathered by Schubert. Sandstrom looking for that throw to the near sideline, can't get it. Yeah, the rain is substantial. It's going to get heavier here shortly. Sometimes in Newcastle you can see it coming, and when you can see it coming, it just keeps increasing in intensity. This shelter is really not big enough. Sandstrom down the line. Here it comes. Well, where would you rather be? But in the driving rain in Raymond Terrace. Flynn out to Sandstrom, who drops it. The disc is going to get very, very wet very quickly, I think. And Downey looks like she's in no rush. So underground to go to work in treacherous conditions. Through Rogers to Rayner. Rayner out to Rogers. That's the score. And I think we might be done here. I think the players are going to head for shelter. What a game that was. Underground deserved victors. 11-7 the final score. Fitting that it goes through Rayner's hands on the way to victory. She had a lot of success during this game. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you shortly for the next game. If there is no broadcast, you know what happened. We drowned. We'll be back shortly.
Alti.tv